Okay, let's work through the permissions tab now. Firstly, we've got a messaging setting. We'll cover this in more detail in an upcoming video. However, there are a couple of specific mentions that you can type that alert a certain group of users. If you type @channel, then this message will send a notification to everyone who is a member of the channel where you post the message. This can be used in any channel. @here is slightly cleverer in that it will only notify users in the channel that are currently active on Slack or online. On the permissions tab, you can specify exactly who is able to use those mentions and therefore limit the potential for abuse. The options are everyone, which is a default setting, everyone except guests, and remember guests will only configurable on a paid tier, there are no guests on the free plan, team owners and admins only, or the most restrictive, only team owners can use those particular ones. Next, we have the option for whether or not a warning should appear when users apply the @channel or @everyone mentions. The default is to always show the warning, with options to switch this to the first time each day, just once, or never. You can define who can post to the general channel. Again, this can be either everyone except guests, team owners and admins only, or team owners only. And then lastly, you can define who can use the @everyone mention. Now, if you type a message and you include @everyone within that message, then everyone in your team, as long as they have their default notifications set, again, we'll cover notifications later, they'll receive a notification about the message. So very, very good for announcements. It's important to note that the everyone mention can only be used in the team-wide channel, usually called general. You can specify who is able to use this mention, and the options are exactly the same as we've covered above. So I'll click Save, just to keep those settings there, and we'll click Close. Moving down to invitations, we can choose whether or not we want to allow non-admins to invite new people to Slack Made Easy. That's not something that we've got set up at the moment. Close it down. Now, channel management. Here we can choose who can create, archive, and remove team members from channels. And you can see that we've got a lot of options here. People who can create private channels, you can see by default it's everyone, plus multi-channel guests. Everyone can do it. Then you've got everyone except multi-channel guests, team owners and admins only, or team owners only. You can set who can create a channel. I'm not going to go through all of the different options. I think you can pretty much gather what they are now. You can verify who can archive channels, who can remove team members from private channels, and people who can remove team members from channels. All of those settings are configurable here. Let's close that down. Message editing and deletion. Editing messages is actually a feature that I find myself using on an almost daily basis. I guess I should proofread the stuff that I write more. You can change the parameters for when a post can be edited here. You can allow editing anytime or up to a certain amount of time after the post was made. Or alternatively, you can say you can never edit any of your posts. People who can delete messages, you can either have everybody set to delete a message or just team owners and admins, which is how we've got it set here. Let's just save that. Close down. Okay, moving down to stats. There is a statistics page that can be found by clicking this button here. Now there's a basic set of stats available on the free tier, as you can see here. You've got total messages, storage used, integrations used, and a few recent stats that are seen here, but not too much on the free tier that we're on. We need to upgrade to a paid tier in order to be able to see more stats. If I just go back to the window that we were on, you can verify who can actually view team statistics, team owner and admins only, or everyone except for guests. Let's close that down. Okay, custom emojis and loading messages. You'll be pleased to know, I'm sure, that we're going to be covering custom emojis and how you can set your own emojis up in a later video. But here you can specify who can actually manage them. At the moment it's team owner and admins that are here. I think I may change that to everyone except guests. So there we are. As soon as you've finished the custom emoji video, you can practice what I preach to you. People who can manage custom loading messages as well. We will cover that at a later video. And here, again, I'm going to put down everyone can do that to give you a chance to be able to practice. Let's click Save and Close. And quickly down to the last three settings that we've got here. We can choose who can manage automatic Slackbot responses for our team. Now, Slackbot is a fantastic built-in utility to Slack. It's like a little helper that continually monitors everything that's going on in the Slack team. And when you type a certain message, Slackbot will come out with an automatic response. We'll cover some of those advanced techniques that we can use for Slackbot in a later video. However, you can signify here exactly who is able to do Slackbot responses. And I've set it up so that everyone can configure their own Slackbot response. Enjoy. Public file sharing. Now, Slack is as much about sharing content as it is about communicating, and we're going to cover file sharing very soon, I promise. However, by default, you're unable to share files with external users to your Slack team. This can be changed here, and we'll cover how to share with external users in an upcoming video. Now, lastly, gateways. For team members that prefer to use a third-party messaging client, Slack offers an IRC and an XMPP gateway, and this can be enabled here. The gateway is disabled by default because Slack can make no guarantee about the security of any IRC or XMPP client, including transport encryption or data security. They recommend that you enable only the gateways you intend to use and trust only those clients that you have evaluated thoroughly. For the highest level of security, it's recommended that you use only Slack's desktop, web, and mobile clients. So let's close there.